Hey up, I'm Guy Kestevan, and this is Sam from SRAM. Sounds like Dr. Seuss, but it is. And this is my Stigmata Santa Cruz that's been running SRAM Force for the past, about 18 months, I think. Great group set, done me absolutely proud, zero issues with it from start to finish. But Sam is here to help me upgrade to the new SRAM Red XPLR. Have I said that right?
Explore. Yeah.
Explorer.
Explore.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So otherwise it'd be two R's, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Explore. Yeah.
Fine. Perfect. So it's basically me, SRAM doing the hard work. Sam doing the hard work. I'm doing well already. Sam doing the hard work of installing the group set and talking us through the technical features, what's changed, what's new, what the advantages are, etc. Me asking awkward questions until either Sam finishes the install or gets bored and leaves me with a black eye. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, any questions you've got about this that are at the end of the video, get lively in the comments and I'll pass them straight on to SRAM. Sam, the man. Let's go. So while we're on the teardown, you might have noticed when the Stig's been in videos before, different bar tape, different sides. It was me trying to do a useful comparative test between the Physique bar tape there, that one, and the Eastern bar tape here. And I can tell you that they're basically the same. Couldn't feel any real difference at all between them. If anything, the Physique, because it's a little bit tapered, seems to make a smoother wrap onto the bar. That's got more of a raised edge. I'll probably find out they're actually exactly the same tape. But I'll put some captions into that effect. And obviously the colour on the Physique has ended up looking a lot dirtier. And also it's just, that might have been me just doing lousy wrapping in the first place. But it's just shifted a little bit more around the hoods on the back side there. But otherwise, to be honest, I find that with nearly all bar tape. I try a lot of things when you try one on the left hand, one on the right hand, like gloves or shoes and stuff like that. It's always been my real shortcut in terms of testing. But on this one, no real conclusive outcome apart from the fact that black always looks better for longer than coloured bar tape. So in terms of general crank fit, stuff like that,
yep.
No changes with the new red, or is it everything's now wide?
Everything has gone to wide due to the new gearing with the extra gear to offset the chainring. And red's now available in wide, which in the past it was force and...
I'll give you a rag for it.
Thank you.
Don't look, John.
Do they send a new bottom bracket as well?
I'll keep that Enduro one in, okay, if that's all right.
Yeah, it's fine.
Just see if I can wear the bugger out. It's held up pretty well so far. But actually, yeah, do you want to do a rate my crank in front of the camera, Sam? Let me know, just because presumably you'll have a good idea of whether that's, how worn is that?
That's pretty, yeah, pretty dead.
So what are people looking for then? While we're here, so
the ovalization in the teeth, as you can see, it's not even anymore. So this part here is really worn out. So
yeah, because I know on the mountain bike cranks that you've got a kind of different hook on X-Sync 2, haven't you? You've got a shape, so it's a bit harder to tell the wear. But on the road ones, should it be pretty much?
It's similar to the mountain bike, but yeah, as you can see, this here is that's meant to be an even curve, and you can see it's really
yeah. It's got a front edge and a back edge quite clearly.
Yeah,
cool. But that's all replaceable. That's still replaceable as well on the new cranks.
Correct. Yeah.
And do you use the same standard?
Yeah, still X-Sync. Yeah. I don't know what they've sent. But there's...
I've got power crank.
Yeah, okay. So it's now the same as transmission with a thread-on chainring.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Right. So the old... Is that 3 bolt or is that 8 bolt?
8 bolt.
Yeah, that's 8 bolt.
So it's still 8 bolt for the power meter onto the crank.
Right.
And then it's thread-on onto the power meter for the chainring.
Right, okay.
But there is also a direct mount non-power version the same as this.
So that's still 8 bolt?
Correct, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we need the breaker barring again.
Yeah, maybe.
No UDH did that. No.
It's not reverse thread UDH, is it?
I think so.
I'm taking that one out to see if there's a normal Allen key to put the bar on.
Yeah, there will be.
Maybe we try another bike before we over-tighten this one rather than loosen it.
Could do. What do you want, another UDH?
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, while we're chatting there,
Yeah.
Why are we changing that gear hanger, Sam?
Because with the new Red, it is now full mount, so same as transmission mountain bike, no need for a mech hanger anymore. So the derailleur bolts directly onto the frame.
Wow, that is.
Yeah,
that's stiff, isn't it? Right. We'll turn the camera off and return when we sort this out. Back on the mags, they used to have a phrase, to kestivenate, which was to destroy or somehow ruin an otherwise normally faultless piece of equipment. And not sure if I should be pleased to say that even SRAM's otherwise brilliant universal derailleur hanger design is not immune from that talent. So always grease your UDH hanger, kids, because that's quite a coarse thread on there, and over time some grits gets in there and you may or may not have read the instructions to realise it's a reverse thread, then things might have to get a little bit medieval to getting it out once you've rounded out that little 6mm Allen key. So, yeah. If you really want proper tool mechanics, watch Dave Rome and check in on his podcast on Escape Collective. If you want to see horrible butchery in the manner of Saw or Hostel, you just stick right here with me. Gonna make you squeal. Come on now. Come on. You're gonna loosen up right there now. So Sam's just swapping the stem back to the original zip stem. And nothing's changed on the stems, has it, Sam?
No.
But we have a new Explore handlebar. Is that right?
Correct, yeah. New carbon Explore handlebar.
So is this, so there's an Explore, but there's also a SRAM Red one as well, which share similar features. Is that right?
There's an SL70 Explore, which is this bar, and we have an SL80 Race, which is the road version of this. Not on my bike.
Oh, right. I was going to, because Sam's brought his road bike along, I was going to do a, and here's one we prepared earlier, but...
so it's similar features, has the cable groove on both bars.
Oh, that is really neat.
Also has the wireless blip flat area where you can install
and
the wireless
blip. They're like an auxiliary shifter.
Yeah, correct.
That runs off your normal shifter.
Yeah, so we have some of them on my bike as well, if we can look at later.
Yeah, I'll share those in a second.
And then, the cable also integrates perfectly into the handlebar, so there's no,
none of that awkwardness. Yeah. And like the whole bar is designed to work with the new shifter hood and everything like that.
Yeah. So it's all ergonomically designed together.
Nice. Yeah. So we'll see that once it's in place. Notice I'm staying well away from this business because it probably involves some subtlety. And I'll just carry on filming Sam just to make it slightly more awkward.
Just as I'm about to drop all the bolts.
Yeah, obviously you're going to drop all the bolts. Why do you think I leave a nice gap under the workbench and put it next to the bin? So, it's going to vanish immediately.
The bin was to catch them, right?
That's the theory. So, there we go. Bar and levers in place. And am I right in thinking that little detail on the hoods there is designed so that that should be level with the ground?
Correct. So the SRAM logo ideally should be, horizontal to the ground when set up. Obviously, it's personal preference. You can have them. Yeah,
but that's like a good baseline.
Yeah, that's a baseline
for getting
to start with.
Which is really neat. That's some good thinking outside the hood.
Yeah.
I need to get some better puns. I haven't done a badder, Dan. I haven't inflicted all that kind of nonsense on you, but and it's dot fluid though, isn't it?
Yeah.
On this,
still dot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
it's early EastEnders.
Yeah.
If you caught that joke previously, but it's a completely new lever shape. Yeah. It's quite. We should probably get. Is the old lever still lying about? Yeah, there's one just behind you.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. It's more similar to Rival, isn't it?
Yeah, correct. So it's very different to Red. Similar to Rival. big
and that's
change.
force in your hand, yeah.
Oh, force rival the same.
But the big changes with the cylinder alignment inside.
Correct. So in the past we had you pull the brake lever back towards the handlebar, the piston would move up and the fluid would move that way. With the new lever, you pull the lever towards the bar, the piston moves in the same way and the fluid moves in the same way.
Yeah.
Which gives you a lot smoother lever feel, which leads to about 80% less force needed to brake.
And it's also increased the leverage slightly as well. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, the pivot point's slightly the leverage is slightly higher.
Yeah.
So it's more powerful.
Yeah, one finger braking is way easier than in the past.
Which is going to be brilliant on gravel.
Correct.
Because they introduced that. The levers are the same as SRAM Red Road.
Yeah, correct.
Right.
So yeah, same lever as you see on the road that came out in May. Exactly the same. You've got the bonus button as well, which you can use to either mimic your shifting, or you can have it the opposite of your normal shifting. So if you want to shift on one,
oh, okay, right.
Yeah, or you can program it to your hammerhead and it can change screens.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's standard fitment on there. And then you just look in your Axis app.
Correct. Yeah.
And configure it through that.
Yeah.
And how does it come up set? What's its default setting?
Default setting mirrors the shifter.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, just another easy cruising gear on the tops.
Yeah. Correct.
Brilliant. I hadn't even seen that. That's new to me.
The bonus button, yeah. It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
It's and when you have the paddle, the bonus button, and a wireless flip, it gives you free shift options. So like if you have a dropper seat post, you can program one of the buttons to be a dropper only. Front derailleur on a 2x, obviously.
But you can still do the same. Both levers is dropper anyway.
Correct. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Top job. This is me pretending to be helpful while Sam does the job properly. Look, but I'm actually doing something very valuable here. I'm holding this syringe so he doesn't have to zip tight to the fork leg. And you could say I'm pretty much indispensable at this point. You see, this is me. This is my fault, because I was trying to get you to call it pad advance. So I could do the rubbish Jason Status pad advance thing again. But it's called piston massage.
Piston massage, yeah. So
which sounds more like a kind of Bee Gees album.
Yes.
Or maybe R. Kelly. Are we allowed to talk about R. Kelly on video?
I don't know.
Probably not. I don't think that's a brand association anybody wants.
No.
Especially when I've been talking about little bleeders. Anyway.
So what we do is we have a clean spanner, put it in between the pistons without the pads in.
Yeah, and then you don't want to contaminate the pads, obviously.
Well, there's no pads in. Yeah, so you remove the pads to stop contamination, and then you basically push the pistons all the way out until they meet in the middle, and then after push them back into the caliper. You do this process a few times. It's to lubricate the pistons and the quad seals in there, because these could have been sat on the shelf.
Sat around getting dusty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just about making the pistons move evenly and freely.
And you say that really, really makes a dramatic difference.
Yeah, it just makes the brake feel so much better. And yeah, this is also something you can do,
so a bit of lubrication and gentle massage makes the brake feel more loved.
Correct.
Is that right, Sam?
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
But you can even do this.
Young people are so caring these days.
You can even do this where, if you've been using it in dusty conditions on gravel, and your brake starts to feel a bit spongy or anything. Most of the time it's not actually needing a brake bleed. It's probably needing just
So it's just almost seal drag.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Interesting. There you go. Top pro facts from the man who deals with the top pro teams. Right, so new red chain set.
Yeah.
That's proper sexy time, isn't it?
Yeah. Really cool looking.
And so that's your battery casing, yeah?
Yeah.
So
battery cover.
Still a 2023?
2032, yeah.
2032,
yeah.
Yeah, sorry, out of date. And then, so that mounts, so there's a spider on back.
Yeah, 8.
So it's standard 8 bolt, but then the power meter actually screws on.
Correct. So mountain bike transmission, it's now a threaded chainring onto the power meter.
Yeah, and the power meter and the chainring are all one piece, is that right?
No. So the chainring is separate to the power meter. So
right. Okay. Right. Sorry. Yeah.
So on the road, it's all one piece.
Right.
And then on gravel, because there's obviously, you probably want to change more wear, but also, for different courses, you might want to change your chainrings up. So it's, one power meter, and then you can have different chainring options, and just a little 2mm bolt here to lock ring bolt. And
right. Okay. And that locks it all in place.
Yeah. And then the chainring threads off.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And that's lighter, cleaner.
Yeah.
And it's double-sided as well. It's a double-sided power meter.
Dual-sided power meter.
So it's not like Rival and Force where you've just got that torque tampon in there in the axle.
Yeah. So dual-sided power meter. So it's exactly the same as the the Red road.
And do we call that Quarq, or do we call it Red, or?
It's a Red Quarq access power meter, I think.
That'll do.
Yeah.
We covered it. We covered all the bases there. It's one of those, or several of them.
Yeah.
Bingo. And then that just goes on the standard dub spindle there. Yeah.
But the dub spindle now on Red is wide. So it's 5mm wider to have the chain line for what we're going to talk about later.
Right. Grand. Yeah. So we've got actual science happening here. So that's the Explorer 12-speed 1044.
Yeah.
That we've just taken
1271, yeah. And then this is the new Red XPLR 1046. It's 290, so it's nearly 100 grams.
So an extra gear, because this is 13 speed.
Yep, extra gear, and you save 100 grams.
So where's that mostly coming from? Just more machining? I mean, there wasn't a Red Explorer previously.
No.
That's the big. That's kind of the big news we haven't said yet.
Yeah.
So there was no Red grade Explorer. You could kind of botch one together. We're using Well, could you? No. There was no wide range, was there, in Red previously?
No, correct. So there was an Explorer Red Derailleur in 12-speed.
Yeah.
But no cassette and no wide crank. So you could, on some bikes, depending on chain, stay length and everything, you could use Red standard road crank 1x with Red Explorer and shifters.
But this is the first full dedicated premium range gravel, which kind of shows where gravel's going.
Yeah.
And also the fact that, SRAM have gone to 13-speed first on gravel.
Correct.
Is a big deal. And there's some other news about the wheels as well, which will be a separate video.
Yeah.
That kind of shows you're pushing the limits even further on gravel than you are on MTB in many ways.
Yeah, and definitely on road, yeah.
Yeah, because road's still 12-speed, isn't it?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, even on single ring.
Yeah.
So, any differences in materials?
It's still the bottom 10 cogs are machined out of one block of steel. So that's where the big weight saving is compared to the force level cassette, and then you have the aluminium pinned.
To the 3-outer, 3-outer, and it's domed as well. You can see there when you're holding it. So it kind of comes in. Is it coming because that changes chain line and stuff? That's what you're saying. It needs the wider chain line than all of them.
But also obviously we're fitting an extra cog into the same space as 12 because it's the same free hub as you would have on the 12-speed. So that's why you see the dome. So it kind of goes over the spokes. So
effectively it's running close to the spokes.
Correct, yeah.
Which is why you've got to be super careful about chain length and alignment, and why it needs to be T-type as well.
Correct, yes.
Presumably. So is it called T-type? Or is it just direct mount?
We'll call it full mount.
Full mount,
yes.
Because some other company might have used direct mount.
Correct.
Already. So this is full mounty.
Yes, full mount. Yeah, full Monty.
Yeah, full Monty.
I can say that because none of the Americans or the Germans will understand that.
That's fine. No one instantly starts thinking of people dancing in dole queues when you say that.
Yeah.
They won't even know what a dole queue is. That would be welfare. You don't get that in America, do you? Anyway, moving swiftly on. Just to make it clear, that fits on the standard XDR, which is the road one.
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
so
it's road spacing.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to do next.
Correct.
So, for those who haven't been watching SRAM's latest mountain bike T-type innovations, full mounty shares the same system where the top of the rear mech actually bolts directly, kind of clamps directly against the frame.
Yeah,
you put a little sort of top. You put a little top hat spacer in there.
Yep.
And so with full mounty, you can keep your hat on Sorry, that was very poor. But yeah, I mean, basically, what are the advantages? Go on, give us the official line, Sam.
It's way more precise shifting. It's way more impact resistant. That's the two major ones.
Yeah, I haven't seen anyone standing on SRAM Red XPLR. Presumably because that's more a frame thing.
Yeah, and yeah, even though
because that was a big thing with the mountain bike when T-Type came out, as all people seemed to want to do was stand on it. But it has proved a really robust system. I've seen, you know, I was sure someone must have tried to break it before. Now all I've seen is a few mangled cages.
Yeah,
but seems rock solid.
Yeah, and I think that this follows the same principles. You know, I think you'd take a lot. You're going to be in a lot bigger issues than your rear derailleur if you have a crash that's going to cause damage to your derailleur.
Yeah.
Also has the magic pulley like on the mountain bike. So if you get some debris in the lower pulley, then the teeth will still rotate. Yeah,
the outer ring spins round, so your stick goes in there or whatever else.
Yeah.
Or your finger if you're a really stupid mechanic. And don't try that at home though, kids. You don't want any amputation from shramputation?
Shramputation.
Yeah. There you go. That's a new verb.
And it's, also the same. You can remove you can't do it now because the wheel's on, but the cage is fully removable like the mountain bike.
Yeah.
It's fully rebuildable with all these plates are replaceable.
And it just looks really, really sick. I really like the kind of semi-machined look.
Yeah.
Because it's something you've done on the chain rings before.
Yeah.
But now doing it on the rear mech, I really like that kind of, maybe it's just because mountain biking in the 90s, I really like that just machined look rather than it just all kind of looking smooth and smooth and forged. Bit of CNC machining doesn't half look well. Right. Carefully measured chain.
Yeah, so...
going on.
Like transmission, you will there'll be a chain length chart on the Axis app where you put your bike in, your chainring size, and it'll come out and calculate.
And if the bike's not on there, you just use your chainstay length?
Correct, yeah.
And then it'll tell you which cog to put it in.
Yep. So there's the little red ring on the cassette. Which
that marks your setup cog.
3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, the 6th cog. That's where you set up the chain and the derailleur position.
And now it's power lock time. And single use.
Single use, yeah.
We have to say that. We're legally obliged to say that. Your house and contents may be at risk if you use a power link more than once. So,
it's also the same chain from the road and the gravel, so it's a 12 and 13 speed chain.
Okay, so the chain pitch and width and that doesn't change at all.
Correct. So this is an identical chain to what's on the Red Access 2x.
Sweet. So you don't need to worry about, if you did happen to snap the chain or something like that.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry about that, being a spares issue. You can just get the standard flat top 12-speed chain.
Correct, yes.
Not as anything particularly standard about a 12-speed flat top chain, but it'll work anyway.
Correct, yeah.
So now it's just the magically simple pairing setup. Yes. So you've got a pro working on it. But to be honest, even I can set up axis in one hit. And that seems a much faster shift than T-Type.
Yeah. It doesn't have... T-Type obviously will have the X-Sync cogs throughout the cassette.
So the X-Sync being narrow, wide for that extra chain retention.
Which, more power intensive, more direct shifting, particularly designed for like e-bike use and stuff. This is more...
under really heavy load.
Yeah. Whereas this is more designed on the road cassette, which is a lot smoother shift. And super simple setup as well. No limit screws like you would have on a traditional derailleur. So with the UDH interface, it's basically power, and it in theory should be good to go like we see here.
That's pretty impressive. Yeah. And of course, no cables to run through the frame. None of that business.
No. And you can still micro adjust it if need be, but in theory it shouldn't need it. So,
Fantastic. It's quite funny because I've literally just got a text from my photographer mate Russ, who used to do a load of bike testing with. Just ridden new Explorer Red. Well, 10 minutes. Brakes are effing amazing. Shifting is instant. Lever shape, hood shaping is perfect in all positions. Should I go on? And he is a picky praise from Russ is a very rare thing.
Yeah.
So, and you say you've been on it 3 months now?
Yeah, love it. I actually ride it on the road more than I ride my road bike because the gearing is just unbelievable.
Is anyone from Pro Road Teams using it on the road?
It's hard with the UDH interface, but we might see it in the future, yes.
Right, okay, of course. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
And just to be clear, it is gravel specific.
Correct, yes.
You're not going to run this on your full suspension bike.
No.
And you shouldn't ride it on your mountain bike.
Shouldn't, no.
There you go. So if that happens, it's not Sam's fault.
Yes.
I think that's what we're establishing here. Sam has not encouraged. In fact, Sam has deliberately dissuaded me. And to be fair, that build looks so fucking sick. I don't think I can see any reason not to just ride that. In fact, that's exactly what I'm going to do next. Get some tape on, get some pedals in there. Time pedals, of course. Oh, look at that. Sam's the proper pro there. And there's also the new Hammerhead computer as well to run with this system as well.
Yep. Yeah, so it all integrates in.
Sam's Hammerhead on his bike there. And that gives you full shifting kind of data integration on it.
Yeah. Battery life, gear usage, etc., etc.
Tells you what crank calls you're getting.
Yeah.
And your emails. Yeah, does a whole load of stuff, but that's going to be a separate video again. So there we go. Brick Red Santa Cruz Stigmata with SRAM Red XPLR Groupset on it. Massive thanks to you, SRAM, for making sure it all goes on as it should. But to be fair, it is one of the few things that even I could possibly be trusted with.
Yeah. It's full proof.
That is just what I said.
Yeah.
But yeah. But no, I mean the whole thing about not having beast screws, dangles, limiters on the cassette, stuff like that. Just if you've never had to fight with them, trust me, taking that out of the equation is just an absolute cliche alert game changer in terms of setup, and just looks absolutely sick as well. So and it's light as well. I'll put the weight of the complete group set and stuff in the captions, but it is significantly lighter because this is the first time that flagship red version has been available in a gravel format. Yep. So massive thanks to Sam, massive thanks to SRAM for lending me Sam and giving me the group test to test. Huge thanks to my other industry supporters, some of them who are on the back wall there, and their names will be listed at the end. Huge thanks to my Patreon subscribers who buy me a cup of tea or biscuit every month in the virtual sense by subscribing to my Patreon channel, and they get early, extended and exclusive edits ad-free as a thank you. But if you could click the notifications, subscriptions, a like, whatever the buttons are along the bottom, and that all helps on YouTube. But tell your mates about the channel as well. And where can people find their SRAM Red XPLR?
On SRAM.com from 1st of August.
Fantastic. And presumably their local SRAM dealer as well.
Yeah.
And there'll be bikes coming out with it.
Correct,
as well.
Yeah. All the major bike brands will have an equipped bike. So yeah, go into your local bike shop and
have a dribble at it.
Yeah.
Have a good dribble on it. Yeah, but wipe it off afterwards because that's not polite. Anyway, massive thanks to SRAM, massive thanks to Sam, and massive thanks to you guys for watching. Because we've been Guy and
Sam
from
SRAM
talking about and fitting the new SRAM
Red
XPLR.
Explorer.
Thank you.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. Cheers, folks.
Thank you.
Right, so I've not had time to do a full review on the group set before this video comes out, but by the time the embargo's lifted, and it has come out, so now I'll be well into a 700 kilometre bikepacking trip around Wales. So I'll be back shortly with a full review, but I just wanted to give some first impressions. And frankly, they are awesome. Really like the hood shape, that new slimmer hood. Just feels really, really good. I've had to move my hands around a bit more, and I don't normally run a fully horizontal hood, so that's taken a bit of adjusting. Bonus buttons, absolutely brilliant. They really are a superb addition to this group set. That little thumb blip there, been using those absolutely loads. And like I say, that whole
ergonomics on that new lever, excellent. And the way the bar blends in, I'll show this side. It's just a really, really nice place to put your hand. And the braking power itself, super impressive. Just, you know, nothing super grabby, but just lovely modulation and control. And noticeably more power. Just a really nice squeeze through that lever. Just feels, yeah, I mean this amount of SRAM brakes were always all right, but they weren't as good as Shimano, and they definitely weren't as good as Campag. But now they are right up there, right at the top of the drop bar braking game. And the actual shifting is absolutely stellar. I mean, you've got that kind of solidity and precision of T-type mountain bike shifting off that UDH direct mount, that UDH full mount, but it shifts immediately. You know, there's none of the waiting for the ramp to come round that there is with T-type mountain bike stuff. So shifts are crisp and they're instant. And in fact, you know, one of the things I would say is it definitely makes me feel like I wish there was a top-end mountain bike race system with this 13-speed setup and shifting, because T-type is great for e-bikes and trail bikes, but I'd love to run something like this Red XPLR on a cross-country bike. The ratios are excellent as well, so you're getting that extra 46 tooth, which definitely comes in handy on the steeper stuff or if you're loaded, but without any obvious sudden leaps in the cassette, because you've got that extra ratio in there. Now it's 13 speed, sets up really easy. I had to adjust the indexing a tiny bit when I switched wheels. Now on reserve, started off on those fire crests, but that was just a standard procedure. The Axis app picked it all up immediately, zeroed the power meter. That's all reading really, really nicely and cleanly. So, the only real question is if you can find £4,000 to get this full power meter set up. I mean, that'll leave you 20 quid spare, but that's still a huge amount of money. But then this is, you know, a proper premium system. And I think it's really interesting now that this gravel group set is really leading the way in terms of the tech for the whole SRAM transmission family. In terms of ratios, in terms of shifting speed, in terms of integration, in terms of versatility, you know, Red XPLR is the flagship of the whole SRAM transmission family. So gravel is definitely growing up with Red. And if you can afford it, absolutely worth it from first ride impressions alone. But obviously I'll be back after a few hundred more kilometres on it and see if it's still behaving. And if you want to know where the new zip wheels are, the new Hammerhead computer that also come out today, I'm afraid I haven't got review samples of them yet, but obviously I'll be on to testing them and get your review as soon as they arrive.